He might be the greatest talent that we've ever seen in the UFC.
If I haven't gotten this far in the UFC by coincidence, it's not because I'm a freak athlete. It's because I'm a great athlete that comes extremely mentally prepared. By the time I fight, I feel as if I know my opponent as well as they know themselves.
I understand I'm the old lion, but I'm a real fighter. I'm not scared of a challenge. I have a vision, and I have a calling.
When Vitor Belfort hits you with a punch, if he thinks you're hurt, a million punches follow in a few seconds.
Vitor was something really special back when people didn't have versatility. His prime was when he had 2 styles of martial arts, when most people only had 1. Now he's fighting guys who are well-versed in every style of martial arts, and that's me.
Jones looking to tee off. What a flawless performance.
You have to have speed to fight Jon Jones. If you don't have speed, you're gonna stay on his reach all day long.
Having the game plan to get in close, you know, it sounds great. Everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face.
That is a brilliant move. And another elbow.
I'm fighting the best fight in the world, and I'm so happy for this opportunity, and I'm so confident. Every area you have your danger. You just gotta be prepared. I'm ready for a storm.
Vitor is a legend, and it means more to me to defeat a champion than just another fighter.
The phenom, Vitor Belfort. The youngest ever tournament champion. He won the heavyweight tournament at 19 years of age back in 1997 and won the UFC light heavyweight crown as well. An interesting thing about this fight is that even though Jon Jones has been in the game much less time, Jon Jones is the guy who has the experience in the long round fights and championship rounds.
The phenom, Vitor Belfort. The last time he fought at 205 pounds in the Octagon was at UFC 51 against Tito Ortiz in 2005. He won the light heavyweight title in January of 2004 when he defeated Randy Couture. This kid is as good as any that have ever competed in the sport of mixed martial arts. Laser-guided hands, speed unlike many in the world possess when he goes after it. And the real key to this fight is to be first. Against Anderson Silva, he waited a little bit. He wasn't first and he got knocked out. Vitor is going to look to do to Jon Jones what he did to Vanderlei Silva years ago, and that is be first.
I think it's very important that he connect and get Jon's respect very early on.
Yes.
The question is, again, how will Vitor fare in the later rounds? If he can get there, how will he hold up?
He does have the most first-round finishes in UFC history. A remarkable 15 of his 17 career finishes have occurred in the first round. Vitor Belfort has finished 10 opponents in the first round inside the Octagon, which is a UFC record. He is the phenom, Vitor Belfort. Joe, that smile's real. I saw him with his family by the pool this afternoon, set for, once again, what is the biggest fight of his career. With many questions away from the octagon, the world is waiting for those to be answered. Jon Jones has as much talent and raw skill as anyone in the world. His confidence is as high as any fighter to ever grace the octagon.
He's living a dream right now.
Yes,
I mean, he really is. He is the man. He is the guy. He is the new breed. And this confidence, this is what comes from destroying Lyoto Machida, Mauricio Shogun Hua, Quentin Rampage Jackson, defeating his adversary Rashad Evans. This is what it comes from. Being the youngest ever UFC champion and being the first guy since Chuck Liddell to hold on to it and defend it several times and against top flight competition, and to only maybe lose one round ever. And that's the first round against Lyoto Machida, and that's debatable.
That was right here in Toronto. Jon Jones looking to defend his title for the 4th time. Chuck Liddell was the last man to defend the light heavyweight title 4 times. Johnny Bones Jones stepping into the Al Fuse prep point, getting ready to battle the phenom Vitor Belfort. The possessor, perhaps, of the best ground and pound in this division since Tito Ortiz, especially Joe, with those lethal elbows. An athletic family, to say the least. Arthur, his older brother, a member of the Baltimore Ravens. Chandler, his younger brother, as a rookie already making an impact at linebacker for Bill Belichick and the New England Patriots, and they play tomorrow, the Ravens and the Patriots, a rematch of last year's AFC Championship game. But tonight, those two are on the same team, and that is the Jones team and the Jones family, as Johnny Bones Jones gets set to face his 5th straight former champion. The son of a preacher who has gone from sheltered to rock star. 16-1 as a professional, that only lost by disqualification in a fight in which he was dominant against Matt Hamill. The champion, the challenger. Our tale of the tape for this, our main event of the evening, is brought to you by Bud Light. Here we go, the phenom, 10 years the elder of Jon Jones, the champion, who is 4 inches taller, and he will have a 12.5-inch reach advantage. With the official introductions, Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. Presented by Assassin's Creed 3, sanctioned by the Ontario Athletic Commission, Commissioner Ken Hayashi. Our 3 judges scoring this contest at Octagon side are Richard Bertrand, Doug Crosby, and Jeff Blatnick. And when the action begins, our referee in charge of the Octagon, John McCarthy. This bout is sponsored by Bud Light. Here we go. The all-new Dodge Dart and Sony Pictures, Here Comes the Boom, in theaters October 12th. And now, this is the moment UFC fans around the world have been waiting for. Live from the Air Canada Centre in Toronto, Canada, it's time! 5 rounds for the undisputed UFC Light Heavyweight Championship of the world. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. This man is a mixed martial artist, holding a professional record. 21 wins, 9 losses. Standing 6 feet tall, weighing in at 204 pounds. Fighting out of Boca Raton, Florida, by way of Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Ladies and gentlemen, he is the former UFC Light Heavyweight Champion, presenting the challenger, Vitor the Phenom Belfort! And now, introducing the champion, fighting out of the red corner. This man is a look-see-do fighter, holding a professional record, 16 wins, 1 loss. He stands 6 feet 4 inches tall, weighing in at 204.5 pounds. Fighting out of Endicott, New York, USA, presenting the reigning, defending, undisputed UFC light heavyweight champion of the world, Johnny Bones Jones!
Gentlemen, we went over the rules in the back. I want you to fight clean, fight hard, protect yourself at all times. Obey my commands at all times. If you want to touch gloves, touch them now. Good luck to both of you.
Jon Jones. Vitor Belfort for the UFC Light Heavyweight Championship.
You ready? You ready? Let's get it on.
Here we go! Tonight's clock brought to you by Sony Pictures. Here comes the boom. In theaters, October 12th. That was close. Could have been a kick to a grounded opponent.
Yeah, I don't think Vitor cares.
There's that oblique kick that he uses so well.
That was a front leg side kick. He actually just threw a side kick to the leg.
Watch for the oblique coming up then, Joe, because he loves to utilize that. Look at this, look at the takedown.
And it's a guillotine attempt by Vitor. He lands a punch and he's on his back. Not good for Vitor.
And the ground and pound we talked about of Jones, especially with the elbows, absolutely lethal. Belfort has been on his back.
And this could be part of the strategy of Jon Jones because Vitor Belfort is exceptionally explosive in the beginning of the fight.
Yes.
If he can wear Vitor out, tire him out, it can make things interesting. Now, one thing we've never seen off of Vitor is submissions from his back. He can defend himself from his back. I'm sure he has submissions. Oh, armbar! He's got it! He
finished it right here. Vitor Belfort looking to finish his fight. Jones trying to power out of it. Can he get it?
He might break that arm, Mike. He might break that arm.
Wow.
You know what? It's a little high now. I think he's out. He's out. He's out.
Wow.
That's one thing we hadn't seen from Vitor before. But he just shows he has it. He just showed he has it. That was very, very close. And he might have popped his arm. We don't know how John's arm is right now. We know he got out of that, but it looked hyperextended.
Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt under the great late Carlson Gracie. Born and raised in Rio de Janeiro.
Yeah, not just a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, but one who's been one since 1996.
Crazy.
That's a lot of mat time, and you got to know that he trained to be on his back because he knew that Jon is a sensational wrestler. That was very close.
Tonight, Belfort facing...
He's bloody, he's bloody. The elbow of Jon Jones has cut Vitor over his right eyelid.
His elbows are just amazingly lethal.
Again, he turns for it. Lost it that time. He's attacking that right arm. And the left elbow again of Jones gets through. And Vitor is a bloody mess already.
It's over the right eye of Vitor Belfort facing his 8th former or present UFC or Pride champion tonight.
And Jon hits it. He's hitting that left elbow over and over again. There it is again. Just sneaking it in there. There it is again. Oh, big punch by Jon.
See the damage done to the eye from those elbows of Jones. Big John McCarthy right on top of the action.
Vitor's got one foot on the hip and the other one on the other side.
Watch your head, Jon.
There's a lot of blood on Vitor's face. That cut is getting nasty, and that's going to impede his vision. It's pouring now out of his face, and he hit it again. And Vitor's got to control the posture of Jon Jones to stop this elbow. He's trying to get wrist control now and hold on to that arm, keep that elbow from landing. Vitor's turning the hips from the bottom. He has got to protect that eye. If that thing gets any worse, they could stop it in the first round.
Jones went for the takedown, nearly got armbarred, but is now showcasing his outstanding ground and pound.
And he's doing it all from inside the guard.
Man.
The length of Jon Jones allows him to put real power into his shots from the guard. Vitor's rolling again. Oh, he tried the move on the other side.
Just over 20 seconds on the clock here in the first round. Will Jones allow him to get up? Jones takes a look at the clock. I think Jon Jones is pleased with the way this first round went, even though he was nearly armbarred. Nice shot there.
Now he's in side control.
Round one in the books.
Look at his arm.
Yeah, he's holding his arm.
Olha só, quando cair agora, quando for agora, não deixa ele te colocar na grade.
Feel no pain now, Jon. You feel no pain. Understand me? Sure. You feel pain afterwards. Right now, you feel no pain. Hey, I want you to hit him with that elbow that he hurts you with. You understand? Sure. You're gonna hit him with it. You're gonna hit him with it? Sure. All right, Mr. Lincoln's on.
Jon, he's hurt. He's cut. All right. Way to go. You got tired because that's what you wanted to do.
Here's the armbar attempt. Look at this.
Now you can pick him apart anytime you want. Take him down when it's there.
He's got a hold of it. He's pulling it tight to the butt. Man, that is really hyperextended. If Big Jon wasn't in the way, get your big ass out of there, Big Jon. I want to see what's up. And here's the elbow that cut him.
Vitor, you want to fight? Tell him.
Big Jon knows Vitor Belfort very well.
Yeah, he's
Stay right there.
fine.
Absolutely.
Good to go? Thank you.
Big Jon was almost, all right, you done? Thank you. Let's get this thing going again.
Yeah, I love how he handled that.
Absolutely. Remember the Hoist Gracie Matt Hughes fight, knowing Hoist so well.
You ready? Get it on.
Round two. Will Jones look to take him down immediately again?
I believe that's most likely the case.
Can Vitor start to let those hands go?
Vitor's got to circle out and get to the center of the octagon if he can. Get away from that cage. The cage is going to hinder his movement backwards.
Giving away a foot of reach.
Yeah, he just doesn't want to be able to be boxed in.
There's the one we were talking about before that.
It's a front leg side kick.
Yeah.
It's not the oblique kick which comes off the back leg.
What it does, though, is it keeps your opponent at bay, and also it stops you because your knee buckles
Spinning
back.
elbow attempt there by Jon Jones.
It's an intercepting hit. Head kick by Belfort. Throws with the hands.
I'm curious to see how bad Jon's arm is hurt.
Kind of grabbed the elbow on his way to the corner, Joe.
He certainly did.
So let's see how much he throws the right hand.
That side kick that he's throwing hyperextends the knee. There it is again. He threw it again. He's really stomping on that thigh of Vitor.
Jon, close the hand when it comes out.
He uses it much like the teep in Muay Thai to keep his opponent at distance and use that great reach advantage of his. Used it over and over again against Rampage. Rampage could never get in and engage.
One thing no one's been able to do to Jon so far is attack the legs. No one's been able to throw really effective leg kicks. That was a nice one there by Jon. Oh man, that's a nice technique.
He uses it all the time.
And that's a new wrinkle in his game, man. That's not, we haven't seen that one that much from him before.
He gives a lot of credit to Mike Winkeljohn for really broadening his already great set of striking skills. Hard to get inside. Vitor trying to. Vitor needs to move and be first like we talked about before.
Yeah, he's standing right in front of him, and that is not good.
When he did it with Anderson Silva, it didn't end the way Vitor wanted. Round 2 of this championship fight. But a much more controlled pace here.
Front kick to the face, side kick to the thigh. Jon's starting to pick him apart. And Vitor is standing right in front of him. Wow, dropped his hands.
I want to see Vitor come out and throw combinations and force the fight.
Vitor finally threw a leg kick.
Tough right hook. Tough to get those leg kicks to connect, Joe, and you have to stay so far away from your opponent. Nice knee.
He pulled guard. Wow, that's crazy.
90 seconds on the clock here in round 2.
It's amazing he pulled guard, especially considering how much damage he took in that first round to his eye, and the fact that they're slippery right now, which makes submissions much more difficult.
This is a fight that Vitor Belfort wanted. He called Lorenzo Fertitta and said, "Hey, I want this fight."
Vitor's going for that right arm again. He's trying not to telegraph it, but he's making sure that he keeps that left forearm in the crook of the elbow.
Yeah.
He's keeping it in there, and he's trying to move his hips, but he's trying to make sure that he doesn't telegraph it too much. That is what he's going for. He hasn't moved that left arm from that elbow. See how he keeps it doing there? He just doesn't want to telegraph it. But that's what he's going for. He's waiting for the opportunity when Jon Jones makes a mistake. He's waiting to lull him to sleep there.
30 seconds on the clock here in the second. Vitor defending much better here in the second. On his back with Jones in the full guard here. Not the damage that was thrown by the champion in the first round.
There's the opportunity. He heard the clap.
Yep.
He
Final
knows
seconds of this
round. Put the foot on the hip. Yep. Look at that. Look at that. Triangle attempt.
Final seconds, though, Joe.
What Vitor is doing is like old school Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Patient, patient, wait for your opportunity, wait for your opponent to make a mistake.
Isn't it interesting that Royce Gracie is sitting in the front row watching this?
It certainly is. Well, I'll tell you what, if he was wearing a gi, it'd be even easier to pull off what he's doing.
I'm going to give you your water in your hand, and you drink it when you like. Excellent round, Jon. Now listen, I need you to pass his guard, okay? He's just sitting in there. So after you strike a little bit, do that knee slip through, okay? Pass his guard. You understand me? And then look for the mount or look for your ground.
After distraction down low, he's so worried about losing distraction down low, it's hurting so bad, stab in the face. All right? Go right through it, stab in the face. It's easy for you, all right?
Now you're warmed up, you're flowing.
Não para na frente dele. Solta a esquerda. Solta a esquerda. Não puxa para
Believe in that 7. Rashad keeps saying, what's the 7? I don't know anything after 3. Jab is 1, right hand's 2, left hook is 3, and then 4 is an uppercut? What the hell is he saying?
Then you start talking about different combinations, different leg kicks can be.
Well, the thing is, every
6,
coach
7,
has a different
exactly.
7, really. Yeah, 7 could be a kick. It could be
just throw the one that works.
Winkeljohn was calling for Jon to attack that thigh over and over again, and then go upstairs once Vitor gets used to it. Man, it's amazing when you consider the fact that this kid didn't grow up with a striking background.
It's crazy. Great wrestler, that's for sure.
Yeah, and that's part of the reasons why he's so good at striking. Is he's not worried about being taken down.
Where it goes, Vitor.
Being born with the athleticism that runs in the Jones family doesn't hurt either. Give me a guy who brings the proper toolbox and we can build something.
Side kick to the body, he hurt him, he hurt him, he hurt him. He hurt him with that side kick to the body.
And now the axe kick the same way.
Vitor's in pain here. And that's something rarely seen, that front leg side kick. And it is an effective weapon, especially when you're a tall guy. And Jon's very, very aware of that right arm, that elbow. Now Vitor's trying to tie it up with an overhook.
Vitor has been with the UFC longer than any active fighter. Wants to win the title here tonight for the first time since 2004.
Vitor's tying up the right arm. Let that go.
Third round.
He went for an omoplata attempt there, but Jon slipped out of it. He didn't really secure the body. He's going to let him up.
3 minutes on the clock here in the third. The Phenom.
Jon, don't have
the white trunks, red trunks for Jon Jones. Vitor bloodied but far from beaten.
Went for a spinning back kick.
Vitor closed the distance.
Again, stomped that thigh.
Vitor.
Jon did a good job of keeping his hand up high and defending.
Nice right hand by Jones.
So that shows you that his right hand is okay.
I was thinking the same thing. His right arm, yeah.
Yeah, his elbow might be sore, but it's effective.
Adrenaline's a good painkiller, isn't it? And both of them have a massive amount of it right now.
Why is Vitor tying up with him? That's definitely not a good idea. He needs to get out of there.
Especially upper body with the great Greco of Jon Jones. He was tossed around, some of the finest wrestlers we know.
He pulled him to the guard again. Crazy. If he's going to do that, he's got to attack more off of his back. You can't just pull him down here and hold on to him. I mean, he did come close in that first round, and he did come at least lock up the triangle. The position of one over the shoulder, one under the shoulder as far as his legs. But
well, Belfort's never scored a knockout or submission win in the third round. Of course, this fight could go 5 rounds. Generally, when he wins quickly, explosively. He's won half of the fights that have gone the distance. Jones has finished 7 of his last 8 wins.
You know, John McCarthy's a great referee to have in this situation because he's going to know when and if a fighter is not being active here in the
Absolutely.
round. And he will let a guy work if especially he knows a guy like Vitor is trying to set something up. He's not going to just stand him up here, which is important for Vitor's strategy. There's some attempts at ground and pound there by Jon.
Nothing like the first round, though, Joe.
Jon slipped over, tried to pass that guard. He's in the half guard now. And Vitor has, he's got half guard. He's trying to hip escape here.
30 seconds on the clock. Like I said, Vitor Belfort
is going to get
wanted this fight. So mentally, he still feels that even though he's being damaged, he can win. 10 seconds. Another elbow by the champion. Headed to the championship rounds for the second time tonight.
That front leg side kick to the body that Jon Jones landed. Watch this, Mike. Boom, right to the solar plexus. And you see him just try to deal with it. I mean, it's a perfectly placed shot. Try to deal with it, but he's in agony there, and he has to drop down. And that's, I don't think we've ever seen anybody get dropped from the front leg side kick.
Good, dig in.
Bring it down.
Brother, the only thing I need from you is keep your fingers going out towards his face, all right, brother?
Jon, distractions are killing him. He's looking down, the stab's there. If you commit to it, he goes out with it. You got it? So distractions are there. 22s are there.
Knee taps are opening.
High kick is there. It's there.
Olha pra mim aqui agora. Eu não quero que puxe com a guarda.
Solta a mão, solta a mão.
Spinning back kick, yes, David Loiseau, Charles McCarthy.
Yeah, we've seen it several times.
Now. Not that one, that's wet. Go get it.
Dennis Seaver.
Dennis Seaver, Nate Moore.
Yeah.
Dennis Seaver's landed on a few people. Yeah. But the front leg side kick of Jon Jones. First time we've ever seen that.
Ready?
The guy get dropped.
Get up.
All right, here's the fourth round. The big question in my mind, Joe, is to be explosive, to get there first, to throw the combinations, to be ultra aggressive. Can he still do it?
Yeah, does he? How much does he have in the tank?
Can he? It's difficult enough to do it because of Jon Jones's reach and his great ability, but can he do it?
Vitor,
16, 17 minutes into a fight.
He tried a head kick there. He's just hesitated so much in this fight. This is what he needs. He needs a wild exchange.
He needs to be Vitor.
Yeah. Again, he pulls him into his guard. This is so crazy, and he winds up on the bottom in side control here. Oh, he's going to get smushed. This is it. Oh, man, big elbows by Jon Jones.
Not good for Belfort.
He's trying to get him in a mounted crucifix. He just needs to secure the right arm. Now he's going for a Kimura.
It is all over!
That's it.
Jon Jones remains the UFC light heavyweight champion.
Good job, baby.
He submits Vitor Belfort to defend his belt for the fourth time.
And he's holding onto that elbow, Mike. I think he really hurt that elbow.
Our fight replay brought to you by Bud Light. Here we go.
And here you see he pins down that arm, wraps it up, and look how he immediately brings it down to the hip. Excellent technique. And that's something that a lot of, even veteran fighters don't do. He pulled that elbow all the way down to the ribs. That's where it's supposed to be. That's where it puts the optimum pressure on the joint.
With that submission victory, Jon Jones has the most submission victories in UFC light heavyweight history. That was his 6th. Vitor came close early. How close? I'm sure Joe will ask that question to Jon Jones.
I'm going to go ask it right now.
But after all has been said and done, the last 5 months, look how difficult it is for him to put on his shirt.
Love you guys. You know
Jon Jones remains the UFC light heavyweight champion and one of the greatest fighters to ever grace the octagon. And he's 25 years old.
Destroyed him, dude. Destroyed him with his legs. That was awesome. Love you. You broke him. Kept him hard. Let's go.
Mama, I gotta put the hat on you.
Vitor wanted this fight. He did everything he could. This kid is the now generation Jon Jones. And that belt is going to be put around his waist again. Here is Bruce Buffer with the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee John McCarthy's called a stop to this contest at 54 seconds of round number 4. Declaring the winner by tap out due to Americana, and still the undisputed UFC light heavyweight champion of the world, Johnny Bones Jones!
He remains the champion, and a special thanks to Johan Furuli as the winner of Belt the Champ on UltimatePoker.com. He helped out in the championship belt presentation. And there is our lucky winner, and he puts it around the waist of the man who has held it for the last few years.
You were just talking to Vitor about your arm. That first round, how tight was that arm bar?